Hey friends, another short and to the point way to make your games better today, and it's a really general design tip, technique, strategy, everyone look at it. Just came off of another training call with one of my home team members, and we're talking about he couldn't figure out which size was appropriate to make his puzzle game space. He's working in Unity, although it's applied in Unreal or Godot 3D environments, other kind of spaces where you've got a lot of fine-tuning control over. It could be slightly bigger, slightly smaller. What do you do? And the answer for this is the same brush you can paint with as a designer for when I was working on Spectacle, like our previous video for Medal of Honor Airborne. We're trying to figure out how many AAA gun shots into the sky was too many or not enough. We were trying to figure out how wide hallways should or shouldn't be. And the tough thing about these is the answers are rarely based in reality. You can't just go research the answer out there and whatever really happened, that's the best way. Whatever size the hallways really are, those are often wrong because your perspective is different on a computer screen. Your player's controller is moving different. Your speed is different. All this stuff's different. So then the answer, the trick, is simply what I call the Goldilocks method. After the way that in the story of Goldilocks, whether it's porridge, whether it's a bed, you have a few different options to try, and then you try them out because there's no way to tell in your head. You can't just sit there and think of the answer. What you don't want to do is come up with your first thing that comes naturally and be like, well, and if it's not a problem, then I'll leave it. The easy answer to do, and it's a good process to add to each layer of your design stuff, whether it's jump height, whether it's reload time, whether it's how frequently you're placing items and power-ups, or how many enemies are in a room, is to try at least 3 wildly different options. I mean, in the roughest, most save yourself time, lazy way possible, clone your entire level and scale it all up by 30% plus or minus. Knowing that that's probably too far, but because that's what's going to let you, again, like Goldilocks in those beds or with the porridges, try each one and be like, well, this is definitely too cramped, or this is definitely too big. And we want to hesitate and hold ourselves back as if we're going to save material and save time, but it's digital stuff. It's free to throw away. It's easy to rip out. It's easy to undo. Part of the design process is don't trust your intuition to not think that you don't need process, to think that whatever comes off your head is already going to be, well, good enough and just right. Try some other different things because you'll surprise yourself sometimes at, this is twice the number that I thought I was going to put in this room, but it turned out this is actually way closer to right. Now, you might still come in and tune that a little further after. You might say, okay, I'll actually 15% less than this, but it helped me find the direction to go in, that it should be definitely more or definitely less. And you're not going to find that inching forward and backward, 1% this way, 1% that way. And it's going to take you all the time in the world, right? If we zoom out from our design lens over to our programming lens, it's a little bit like binary search where you want to be able to start from, can I split this in half and split that in half and split this in half? Can I save myself that search time by, what some designers do is halving and doubling. But it all comes back to this Goldilocks method of try making it wildly more, wildly less, and where it's at, just to try them and see that, yeah, at the very least, I can tell this is a better direction to be going in, or this is just not comfortable. That until it is on screen, on device, in your hands, in a game controller, on a keyboard, in VR headset, on mobile phone, whatever device you're actually delivering to, on an itch page if you're doing a WebGL build for itch, until it is on the actual target platform, don't trust your sense of just looking at it or whatever comes out naturally at first. That's where we wind up kind of with badly, roughly designed games where we do kind of the designer mistake of just sort of programming something once and figuring out, okay, well, now I can jump. Now I can jump on the bad guy. Now bad guys do move, without reassessing how high do I jump? How long am I in the air? How many bad guys are there? How much damage do they deal? All these kind of little tuning parameters where you want to kind of, each one of those, again, it's simple process to add Goldilocks it, make a much more severe version, much less severe version. Tell from those, do you want to go one direction or the other before you move forward on it? So at each of the decisions that you're then tuning and tightening around, you've got some other things that are at least broadly in the right category, rather than kind of saving till the end. Well, then I'm going to fit them all together. If you save it all to the end, then all of your pieces are being adapted to other roughly totally untuned decisions that you moved on from before you gave yourself a design pass on it. So that's the strategy. It's it. Use any one of your things in the process you want to improve. And again, this is such a wildly general lens. It could apply to Spectacle, like I talked about for Medal of Honor Airborne, like I talked about in the previous video. It could be something that you apply to level design, space, proportionality, dimensions, like I helped our home team member with here just a moment ago. It can also honestly apply to your writing. It can apply to your art. It can apply to your logos. It can apply to all kinds of other things. Give yourself 3 options. Look at it and figure out of these 3, do I at least feel like this one's more worth iterating on? And if you don't feel like you love any of them, give yourself a 4th or 5th options. Nothing's stopping you. But that process is going to help you not zero in with too much forward progress and momentum on what is a shaky foundation to build on, because you never gave yourself another option to try out to see what's really comfortable, what fits, what you're working, what's feeling good for you. Anyway, that's it for today. Catch you all another time. Thanks for following along. Bye for now.